Okay, we're back, and it's Tony Jones,
I'm the Reverend Russell, and this is the Hardest Question video blog.
third Sunday in Lent,
And we're in John.
which is very unmarking.
This
And
is-
this particular passage is
It's
very,
very
unmarking.
unmarking, yeah. Because Mark has this great trajectory that we're following, and he's got this velocity, and then we just kind of like put the brakes on to read this text
it's
here.
it does seem very odd that we would be, but the lectionary, the people of the lectionary have their own thing.
So we jump to Jerusalem.
Right, so Jesus is, in Lent you usually think about the journey to Jerusalem when you
right.
get to Palm Sunday,
Right.
but here we jump to an earlier Passover and an earlier year in Jesus' ministry.
Because in John, Jesus starts out in Jerusalem, then he goes there a couple times.
And it's the money changers, which I guess, that you put yourself in the mind of the lectionary people, and they're trying to get passages for Lent that are about repentance.
I think, yeah.
And like Jesus kind of
Right.
confronting sin,
Right.
because you should be confronting your own personal sin during Lent.
Right,
yeah?
and maybe cleansing your church.
Or cleansing your
Yeah.
pocket, your
Yeah,
wallet
right, yeah.
of money.
So what I always like about this is like, Jesus is violent.
Yeah.
Jesus is violent, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying I like violence. I'm just saying I like a full range of human emotions.
Yeah.
And you think of this Jesus, and to think of Jesus just get the,
Yeah, it does.
He makes a whip out of cords.
Right.
and,
It
yeah.
doesn't. It's a very unliberal Jesus.
It's a very unliberal.
Because the
flipping
liberal
over the
Jesus is
tables,
like, I'm going to occupy the
peace,
capital,
yeah.
and if I get arrested, I'm going to
Yeah.
go non-violently.
go limp.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no John Howard Yoder in this passage. This is,
no.
although I'm sure Yoder had an answer for
Sure.
why Jesus.
I just
is
think it's
violent.
interesting to see Jesus being violent. I don't know.
Yeah, he does. He does. He kicks some ass.
Yeah, whips people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think wouldn't the pacifists say that he whips? He just kind of swings the whip around and pushes
Sure.
over tables.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually.
Yeah.
It's not any act of physical coercion against
No.
another human being.
Threat of violence is equal to violence.
Ooh, yeah, touche,
Yeah.
touche. Okay. So, and then this is a very unmarking thing where, very Johannine though, where Jesus is like predicting the fall of the temple.
Right.
And it's, if you go with the standard dating, where
Yeah.
Mark is maybe written between 50 and 70,
Yeah.
and John is written between a 90 and 110,
Yeah.
it's another kind of chronological whiplash, even looking at it literarily,
Yeah.
to jump in year B from Mark,
Yeah.
this very primitive
Yeah.
first edit,
Yeah.
to this much later, very theological, where they're making all these allusions to the fall of the temple,
Yeah,
right?
right.
In the year 70
Yeah.
and that. So it's tough to preach, I think.
It's an odd move, but it's the move we have to make.
Yes, so
Let us know what you preach.
and maybe this would be a good week for puppet ministry.
Yeah, I think so.